In this video, I will show you how to make sourdough brioche buns out of Parmesan cheese. In this video, I make some sourdough brioche buns using an experimental method that involves mixing all the flour in the recipe with some of the wet ingredients. No making a levain ahead of time. Will it work? Let's find out. I have so little confidence that this is going to work that I only add 100 grams of flour into the food processor. That's all for the whole recipe and will be enough for 2 burger buns. Now I'm weighing 20 grams of water and adding a few grams of neglected sourdough starter. I haven't fed or otherwise interacted with this in over a month, so it must be starving for some flour. Luckily, it's getting mixed in with a whole bunch, about 100 times its dry weight. Add 30 grams of cold butter and blitz. This is a bit like you can do for pie crust, as you may notice. So instead of starting with a levain, I'm kind of just keeping the faith that the population of microbes is going to grow to the right size in this limited amount of water to proof this bread after about a day of just sitting here like this. So let's see how this is doing tomorrow. It's been about 20 hours. Here's 2 grams of salt. Mix it a bit. It should dissolve after I add the egg. It seems pretty common for brioche recipes to have 1 egg per 100 grams of flour. And that's the final ingredient. Seems to mix pretty well, I think due to the cohesive properties of water and the fact that the mixture is evenly moist. All the work of eliminating the dry flour was done by the food processor a day ago. This needs some time to sit before I even attempt to fold it. After 30 minutes, there doesn't seem to be any gluten development at all. This is what I would have expected if I'd tried folding it right after I mixed it. I'm just going to work it a little, like so, to get some strength building going here. Then let it rest another 30 minutes. I'm finally able to fold it and do a bunch of folds in an overlapping circle. Unfortunately, I forgot the camera needs to be pointing at whatever I'm trying to record in order for it to show up. And also, for some reason, I put the dough ball down seam side up. Usually not the way to do it. After 20 minutes, I fold again, out of frame. Hopefully though, you can see how the dough gets less ragged looking after each time I fold it. After 20 minutes, fold again, still out of frame, still pretty sticky. Finally put the seam side down. I decided to put it in the fridge to stiffen it up a bit. After 30 minutes in the fridge, it folds a little easier and I do a slightly better job keeping it in frame. Back into the fridge. Folded after 20 to 30 minutes. Dough is still sticky but looking smoother. This is the 5th and final time folding it, and it's about 24 hours after I made the original mixture. Now I'll finally let it proof. Check it after 2, then 3 hours. It seems to be expanding. By the way, I think my house has been set to 73 degrees for most of this process. It's been like 5 hours since that last fold and I think it looks ready to shape. I oil my hands and pinch the bread in half. Then I fold each one the same way I folded the main dough ball, going in as many circles as I can to make them as tight as possible. With a leaner dough without fat, I usually only go around once. This 8x10 baking pan fits over it nicely. I put it in the warm garage to proof. It's 80 some degrees in there. I ended up only keeping them in there 15 minutes. Set the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and wait for it to warm up. It looks to me like they are producing gas, but maybe the gluten is having a hard time producing the necessary structure to get a good rise. I wonder if the gluten is breaking down at this point. I attempt to tighten it up by doing whatever this is. I don't want to squeeze any air out. I put them in the oven, covered, set for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, it looks like they're doing what bread is supposed to do when it's in a hot oven. Because it's a small batch, I took the opportunity to cover them and let them expand. The trapped water vapor prevents the crust from setting too quickly. After 8 minutes uncovered, They don't have much color, but they're probably done. The acidity of sourdough inhibits the Maillard reaction. Temperature is a little over 200 degrees Fahrenheit, so they are for sure done. They've cooled off. Let's cut one in half. Bottom feels a little dense, like it might have proofed unevenly, but could just be the thicker crust from the heat of the baking sheet. Crumb is open and kind of all over the place. There's one way and one way only that something like this should be enjoyed, with a microwave chicken patty. I experiment with bread recipes a lot and usually don't have many that are total disasters. At the same time, I don't know enough about bread to accurately critique myself. My general feeling is I'm not super impressed by this, but can anyone tell me what is wrong with this thing? There's got to be something other than it looks like 90s school cafeteria food. I mean, I think it's interesting that it worked, at least in the sense that the dough was able to proof and bake up. I have tried making bread this way with a little starter mixed with a lot of flour, but this was the first time I included the butter in that mixture. I'm tempted to try this in the stand mixer from the point where I added the egg in. The way I did it, it took a couple hours to develop the gluten, so maybe that would speed the process up. Now, you might be wondering, if I'm going to use a stand mixer anyway, why not just make it the normal way? Good question. I don't know.